What's up guys, my name is Trail, better known as Budget Bill, and today we are going to discuss the new second big fat stimulus check of $1,200 that could be available as additional stimulus money for the American people. If you don't recall, I talked about this on my last video on how they proposed this new extremely large bill called the HEROES Act, and it was released earlier this week. If you didn't watch that video, you can definitely check it out here, and so you can see the other details in relation to that bill. But first, go ahead and click on the thumbs up button down below as it really helps out the channel, and I would definitely appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What's up folks, and thanks for sticking around. So this new proposed bill that was released on Tuesday that's called the HEROES Act is very interesting bill in comparison to all the other proposed bills in the past few weeks. Specifically because this bill includes another big fat stimulus check of $1,200, similar to the last check that we received back in April and May. Or some of us have not received that yet. However, if you haven't received your check yet, there's people that are still on the waiting list, so you're not alone. But yes, this is an additional check that would be available to taxpayers and their families. It would include a one-time payment of $1,200 for individuals who make up to $75,000. Now, unlike the CARES Act, families would receive an additional $1,200 for each qualified dependent up to 3. Now, if you recall, the CARES Act only offered a $500 payment for children, but the HEROES Act has actually changed it from children to qualified dependents. So now qualified dependents includes college students as well as adult dependents. So for example, if you have a family of 5 people, you would receive $1,200 for the first parent, $1,200 for the second parent, and $1,200 for each qualified dependent up to a total of 3, which would be a total of $6,000. So yes, that's $6,000 in your family's pocket to help you during this particular pandemic. Now, unfortunately, my wife only gave me 2 children, so that means we would only receive a total of $4,800 as we meet all the other requirements. Now, speaking of the other requirements, the eligibility requirements are similar to the CARES Act, but we will go over those as well. This second big fat stimulus check would be available for the following people. If you're a single and you make under $75,000, for head of households if you make under $112,500, or for married couples filing jointly if you make under $150,000. Now, if you fall into those thresholds, you are able to receive your second big fat stimulus check of $1,200. Now, for those of you that are big ballers and you make more than those thresholds, there is what's called a phase out. And what that means is the more money that you make that's within the ranges on the screen right here, the less you will receive on your stimulus check. So for every $1,000 over the threshold in red, you would receive 5% less of the $1,200. Now, if your income falls above these ranges, you will not qualify for the big fat stimulus check. And all of this is the same as it was with the first stimulus check. So nothing has really changed as far as the income ranges. Now, as far as qualifications go, there's one thing that actually changed from the CARES Act that is different from the new HEROES Act. So you know that they were using the previous or the last filed income tax return to determine who would receive the first stimulus check and how much they would actually receive. Well, from the CARES Act, if everyone on the tax return didn't have a Social Security or a TIN number on the last filed taxes, those parties would not receive a stimulus check. Well, on the HEROES Act bill, they changed the wording so now it applies to all qualified persons on the tax return, even the ones that did not have a Social Security or a TIN number. So that's definitely some good news for sure. So how do you even receive your second big fat stimulus check? Well, in regards to how people will receive their second stimulus check if the bill is actually passed, it would be the same way as it was with the CARES Act. So if you have direct deposit information on file, you would receive electronic payment via direct deposit. And if not, you will receive your check by mail. And of course, you would have the option to update your information on the IRS's website as you could with the CARES Act. Now, as I stated on the last video, that they're going to be voting on this bill on Friday. So the new proposed bill is going to be challenging as most bills typically are. But of course, this HEROES Act is a very large proposal in comparison to the most recent proposals we have seen in the past. So it's surely to get some pushback from the Republican Party. However, I think this bill has more of a chance than others because this bill would actually cost less overall. And this bill provides some funding to other programs such as funding for the state and local governments, hazard pay for essential workers, funding for the additional Rona testing, rent and mortgage assistance, also extension of the $600 weekly unemployment expansion, funding for the SNAP, additional funding for small businesses, emergency relief for the U.S. Postal Service, and more funding for the election safety and voting by mail, because we do have an election coming up soon in November. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you are interested in reading the entire bill yourself and all of the 1,800 pages, I have included a link down below to the proposed bill so you can check that out. Now wait, let me know your thoughts on the second big fat stimulus check. Go ahead and comment down below, and I would love to get your feedback. I must say I'm actually excited about this HEROES Act, and I haven't even received my first big fat stimulus check. The government owes me my money. Give me my money, government! Nah, just kidding. But hey, if you found value in this video, please give us a like, as it definitely helps out the growth of this channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? This is a great time for you to click on the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you can be notified every time I upload new content. Other than that, hey, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.